After 5 months of hard work, we have finally set off in our van Arrietty to travel to places that we have yet to visit and continue a life of slow living on the road. But we couldn't continue without showing you what our van build looks like, extending inspiration to those who are looking to join van life and for those who are simply just curious. We are Nnyji and Santi, and this is our 2019 Ram Promaster 2500 high roof van. It has a 136 wheelbase, front-wheel drive, and can fit into a regular parking space, which makes traveling stealth a lot easier. We built this van out with a little background experience. We have built out an SUV for camping, another van that we traveled in for 2 years, and a tiny house. After graduating from university, I worked as a children's book designer, which was my dream job and is what really inspired this whole build. I wanted it to have a whimsical, nostalgic feel, like you are entering a storybook. We added these branches from a tree that had fallen, carved, treated, and attached them to the front and back entrance. I wanted it to resemble the 100-Acre Woods from Winnie the Pooh, my favorite childhood character, and so I added fake vines and real moss to make it look as if we live in a tree. The first thing you see when you enter the van are these beautifully wood-carved doors made by Santi. It is a carving of our 2 cats, Lady Sasha and Mr. Pickles, and it just holds our butane for the oven for now. We also installed a vent on the side for when we use the oven. Our butane-powered oven is by the company Vever, and it's a little temperamental at times, but I absolutely love having it since I do so much baking. It slides out so that we can change the butane, and it also comes with a stovetop if I ever need it. I will link any items in the van that I found online in the description box. If there's one thing a vet tells you, it's that when you have multiple cats, you need multiple litter boxes. And that's exactly what we have for our 2 travel cats. They aren't here right now, so some things in the van are missing because of that. We have a full electrical system put together by Santi, which was his first time ever doing it, and now we have dimmable lights for when we first walk into the van. Since we live in a tiny home on wheels, we needed to get really creative with the storage, so we utilized the side doors and built-in cubbies. In our last van, we would have to jump over the counter to get to the front if we didn't want to leave the van. So this time, we built a way to easily move back and forth. It works as both a counter and a pass-through like a 50s diner. And we of course built storage into it as well. This is also where we can access our water system. We have 2 clean water 6-gallon jugs, making it 12 gallons of water in total, and 1 5-gallon gray water jug. We have a hose attached to a quick release system to easily attach and detach it from each clean water jug. The gray water is attached to an RV sink drain. One of the most notable features is my grand idea to have a copper tea kettle as our faucet, which has Santi raising an eyebrow for a moment, but we made it work. We use a foot pump to help the water travel up through a tube into the kettle, and we have it angled downwards so that it can pour out of the spout. And the sink itself is a gold stainless steel mixing bowl. This is one of those things I would see in a storybook that I had to bring to life. Also in the kitchen, we have personal touches like shutters with stained glass windows for rainbow lighting, a hot air balloon lamp, jute hanging baskets for our garlic, onions, and potatoes, and plenty of spices and herbs for meals, teas, and simmer pots. There's also an additional compartment here in the counter for canned and dry food. We really made sure to utilize as much of the space as we could. We even installed an electrical port here, in case we need to plug anything in while we are cooking. We have 3 drawers. The top has our utensils, measuring cups, and spoons. The middle has plates and a cutting board. And the bottom is our dedicated toiletry drawer, but has a few kitchen necessities inside. And we can't forget about our carbon monoxide detector, important security when living in a vehicle. In this cabinet, we have a trash bin, cleaning supplies, and my most used van essential, a propane stovetop, which opens up into 2 burners. This works wonders and is so compact and practical, it's amazing. Disguised at the bottom here is our electrical system. Everything is powered to our Bluetti power station, which is charged by our solar panels. Each one is 220 watts with a total of 440 watts, which is plenty for us. It charges up so fast in full sunlight and has both DC and AC ports. The lights, our fan, and switchboard are powered by one fuse box. The fridge is powered by our second fuse box using an AC to DC power converter. Since the fridge runs through DC, it takes less power from our battery. We love this kind of fridge way better than the ones that pull out. We don't have to dig through looking for our food. It's all right in front of us. I put fluorovinyl wallpaper to help it match the aesthetic of the van better. Below one of the litter boxes is where we store our pop-up toilet. As you can see, we don't have a full bathroom in here, so we use this for emergencies only. I'll explain more about how we use the bathroom later in this video. The back area of the van is built on a platform because we wanted to have vertical storage for any longer items like our outdoor camp chairs, hiking sticks, cat carriers, and yoga mats. We added a drawer underneath our wood stove, primarily to catch any soot that pours out, but it has since turned into a junk drawer. Next to it is where we store our wood and fire starter for the stove. Above the side door, we have these mini cabinets with a bunch of junk honestly, but I hope to build a little Arrietty dollhouse in one of them, which was recommended to do so by a subscriber, so thank you for that idea. These cabinets are dedicated to being Santi's main closet, which is a lot deeper than you think. And we can't forget the cabinetry that houses all my pots and pans, any dry food, some propane for my cook stove, and my Bumblebee tea kettle that I've had since university. Our cubic wood stove is our main heat source. We didn't have heat in our last van, and we went with this option instead of a diesel heater because we hear those can be temperamental, and this is a cozier option. We installed it ourselves, which you can see in our van build time-lapse video. I'll link it here in case you want to check it out. We purchased a heat fan and found these tools at an antique shop for easier usage. To use the wood stove, we pull out this ladder, which inspiration from my friend Jessica over at Roots in the Wild. This kind of ladder is absolutely genius. We climb onto the roof and remove the cap, then place the flue cap. We have to take the cap off every time we drive, which can be tedious, but it doesn't take much time at all. This is our hanging closet. Yes, it's mostly mine because I wear a lot of clothes that I don't want wrinkled. That was a huge issue in our last van. We put a removable and rechargeable light inside and the cutest mirror in front. Our couch/bed area provides so much storage. On the left is where our dirty laundry and our shoes go. In the middle, I've been putting my computer and my sewing equipment at the top, and Santi's paints, brushes, and markers are in the bottom bin. And on the right is mainly Sasha's cat nook. We have more built-in storage here, which holds tissues, candles, and our bed legs. Above the bed on the right side is my dedicated cabinet for any undergarments, makeup, and purses that I own. On the left side, we store all of our electronics like our drone, Nintendo Switch, and computer wires, along with many of my books because I am a huge bookworm. The skylight was another addition that we really wanted to bring more light in. However, we purchased a defected skylight. It started leaking when we first installed it on our first rainy day, so Santi unfortunately had to seal it shut with lap sealant. But in our eyes, it's still a win because although we can't open it, we still get so much light. On the side of the closet is our main control panel, which has our 2 sets of lights that can individually be turned on and our fan connected to it. The fan is controlled with a remote, and it's really cool because it self-shuts when it senses rain. We don't really have a dining table, but we do have a table that extends out, which we mostly use in bed mode to watch movies and work at. It also oftentimes acts as a bed area for the cats. Inside the couch, we have 2 cubbies that we can access from the inside and the back area, which was really important for us. This mostly has stuff that we don't need as often, like camping gear, medicine, our duvet and bed sheets, and art supplies. Our bed is set up on hinges so that it is easy to convert into bed mode. We just pull the board up and attach the legs to the bottom for extra support. I sewed 4 different cushions so that together they make up the bed. They each have 2 layers, a waterproof layer and a removable top fabric, so that we can wash them when necessary. It took me a week to make them all, and I'm so proud of the amateur work I've done. We drilled about 6 holes into the folded board to allow airflow to prevent mold. This is our garage, wood-burned and painted by Santi. Each door is illustrated after a different storybook character. The Peter Rabbit door accesses our camping gear, duvet, and sheets from the back. The Winnie the Pooh door is our tool cabinet. And the Frog and Toad door is access to our laundry and shoes from the back as well. We keep the door shut with a little piece of faux leather that attaches to a screw. Underneath these doors is another door that detaches and gives us access to the storage within the platform. We installed all windows in the cargo area of the van and gave this one a frame so we can sit our drinks while we look out admiring the view. And all other windows open as well. We are keeping the front area pretty basic for now, but we have plans to paint little drawings all over and decorate it. For now, it has 2 beds for the cats, one on the floor and one that attaches to the walk-through door. This is only for while we are driving. We also have a dash cam because there are some interesting drivers in this world. We have quite a few questions here. The first being if we purchased the van in full or if we are paying it off. While converting our tiny house, we saved up on money that we made from making content and from doing various general labor jobs. We were really hustling and being super frugal at this time, which helped us save up enough to buy our van in full on Facebook Marketplace. We can do a van life budget breakdown in another video if you are interested to see that. We are still living in our tiny house and plan to do mostly tiny house life in the colder seasons and full-time van life in the warmer seasons. But we are playing it by ear. No one will be staying in the house as far as I'm aware, unless my mom or sister wants to sometimes, and we do have a huge trip we are planning which is coming in the spring, so please stay tuned. It's going to be amazing. A hint? We are leaving the country. Do you wish there was less cabinetry and more open, airy spaces to move around inside the van? We were very intentional with how we built out the van, so we don't regret anything. I think it would be too early to say since we haven't established a routine yet, so we'll get back to you on that. But so far, we love all of our choices. Will I be doing any baking in the van? As some of you know, I did a lot of baking in our last van. It's kind of my niche. I haven't baked anything in the new van yet, but it will definitely be coming soon. The burning question that everyone has is, where is the bathroom? Which is a valid question. We didn't have a bathroom in our last van either, and it worked well for us for 2 years. We used a pop-up shower method whenever we were out in the middle of nowhere, and dug a hole for toilet usage. In the winter, we heat up water and wash at the sink, and use our pop-up toilet. But these are very rare options for us. We mostly use public restrooms, and we have a gym membership for showers. We didn't want a dedicated bathroom because it's very tedious having to change a compost toilet, wipe out the shower every time, and change the gray and clean water regularly, with 2 people using it. It just didn't seem worth it and would take up most likely unused space for us. Someone in our comments said that it's only a luxury van if there's a bathroom, and if that's how you feel, that is completely fine. However, in this day and age, it's a luxury to have a home at all, so we are grateful and value that. Are you going to refurbish the outside? We painted our previous van because, to be fair, the original color was not good at all. At first, we tried green and hated it, so we came up with a pinkish orange mixture, which matched a lot better. So we may paint it, but not anytime soon. What color do you think we should choose? Let us know in the comments. Did you have to be cautious about the added weight? Yes, we did have to be cautious about the added weight, especially since we used wood. We weighed the van after finishing the build. The van itself weighs 6,000 pounds and can carry up to 4,200 pounds. The build itself weighs 600 pounds, with a total of 6,600 pounds on the whole van, meaning we have about 3,600 pounds of weight to spare. This is a topic that is not often discussed, and it is so important to know about, especially if you want to travel full-time and have everything covered. We recommend looking into insurance options before converting your van. We use Roamly, not sponsored by the way, which covers everything in the build for a super cheap yearly price in comparison to other insurance companies. But they only cover vehicles up to 20 years of age. We couldn't get Roamly for our last van because of this issue, and wound up paying $400 a month with State Farm because they were our only other option. Just note that all insurance companies have different requirements, and most require your van to be professionally built out by a company, which is why we chose Roamly, because they cover self-conversions. If you have any other questions about the van or about us, leave your questions below. We will be doing our annual Q&A video soon, so you all can get to know us better. We will be doing a few more upgrades to the van in the coming months, so make sure you follow along to see more. We hope you are having a wonderful start to your year. You can check us out on TikTok and Instagram for more content. We post more day-to-day live updates there. And join our Patreon for even more benefits like recipes and artwork. It's free to join, and you can upgrade if you would like. Thank you for being here. We'll see you soon.